Hello everyone, my name is Raúl, or a good amount of people might know me from my drag name, which is Gazelle. I want with this video to create or to initiate another series on my YouTube channel where I'm talking more about my other project, which is the card game. And I'm explaining different aspects of the game, how it works, why it works, how I made it, and like the journey of the game basically. Even though I started this project a year ago, more seriously, I mean, because of course I started it a long time ago with the idea and how I want to do it and so on and so forth. But even though I started it a year ago more seriously, even in the beginning, it was a lot of trial and error, and I had to basically try a lot of things to find a good printing, or at least a good space to print things. And also on this channel I'm going to on this series I'm going to talk about struggles when it comes to printing, when it comes to having and creating a card game, especially here in Romania, because I'm Romanian, of course, for those who might not know. And honestly, it is pretty difficult to do something like this here, especially when there are already like very popular card games like Magic the Gathering, Flesh and Blood. So to just start something like this alone because I did everything myself, everything from the writing to art to designing to every single thing. But yeah, more on that later. Either way, this video is going to be like a brief, like a wide explanation of the game and how I managed to start it, or how this idea came into my mind, basically. This project that I have is more than a passion project. I want to make this as big and popular as I can, of course. That's why I'm also starting another series here on YouTube. Also, because I also have a TikTok and I also do it on Reels. However, if we have these platforms available to our hands, why not use them? Maybe this way I'm going to have more reach and the game is going to have more reach, and I will be able to create that community that I want around the game, of course, and we can play and talk and discuss and what's going to come next and what tribes are going to win, which are going to lose, which cards are Boo the Fool, which cards are very overpowered. So yeah, that's exactly what I want to create. This game is going to be the next Magic the Gathering. Yeah, on a jokey note. Either way, moving on. So this project is called Mighty Duels. It's a trading card game, as I said in the beginning. It is very similar to the other card games that you might find, like Magic the Gathering, Hearthstone, which is an online version of the card games, trading card games, which is very different and very specific term. And for example, another one, Pokemon. These are the three main games that I also got my inspo from. This idea of the card game started like 3 or 4 years ago, before I went with Erasmus. And basically it's a mashup of a lot of things that I liked in the other games, but there was not a lot of content regarding that. And I was thinking, like, why not make it myself with all those things that I enjoyed very much? For example, let's say that I enjoyed very much mermaids or like sirens in Magic the Gathering, but I couldn't find a lot of content with that specific thing. And I was kind of disappointed. And that way, this idea came into my mind. So it's basically like just a lot of small ideas that I enjoyed very much, and I just put it into my game, basically. Or mechanics, or colors, or like palette colors, or the there is a wide range when it comes to this. So it started before going to Erasmus. I went to Erasmus in Spain, and right before, like a week before that, I started just to create some templates for the cards, and then I went there, and funnily enough, I went and studied video game design, but they also had a small section for board game design. And thanks to that, I started to develop more and more interest into board game design, honestly, even though I enjoy video game design a lot, but I cannot do the IT part or like the coding. No, whatsoever, I cannot. That's not sticking to my brain, and my brain does not work like that, especially because here in Romania I was studying visual arts, photography and videography. So no thanks. And yeah, if either way, there in Spain I focused more on character design and concept art with this little flavor of board game design. But then I came back here in Romania and I started working on my game. Then I took a break, of course, but last year, or like something like that, last year around this time, I started doing it more serious. And of course, in the beginning, it was a lot of trial and error, doing the design for the templates, finding the good font, I like the art style. It was not a problem because I already had a distinctive art style. And that was so easy. Like, I knew what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted to be heavily tribe oriented. Tribe oriented, it means that you build a deck around a certain kind of creature type. For example, elves or demons. So I knew that from the get-go, but it was the other aspects that I had to find out and figure out. Also the rules, because when it comes to the inspo, of course, there were these games, but they have a lot of info and it can make you very easily overwhelmed and overstimulated at the same time. So I had to tone it down and to find what I actually like about that. So yes. And also the printing. Wow. That was another adventure. But either way, about these aspects I'm going to talk about in other videos and in the following videos that I'm going to make, which is basically the journey of the game. And I'm going to present the rules, and I'm going to play, and I'm going to invite different people to play the game with me, and I'm going to do it in drag. This is another cute idea that I have regarding this series. I want to do it in drag, and I want to also invite other drag queens to play the game, even though they've never played or they might not be into games or card games or nerd. They might not be nerdy at all, but I feel like it would be fun just to try it out and see how they react to certain things, because like it's drag. So yes, that's for the future. So subscribe if you want to see. Turn on the notification button, of course. So yeah, parentheses over parentheses. I'm going to make a lot of these kind of things, and I'm going to just fly from the main discussion to another one because I'm going to remember about something. In the beginning, I was a bit concerned that I'm not going to make, I'm not going to have a lot of things to say, or like I'm going to talk very fast or very short about things, but I already see that here is like 10 minutes. So I'm good, but I also don't want to make this too long. I want to make it like maximum 20 minutes. But I feel like I'm on the right track right now. Moving back to the game. So I was talking about when I actually started to make it, and the main ideas for these ideas that define the game. The first one being that the matches are not long. They don't take a lot of time. It can take like 10 minutes. It can take 5 minutes if you are crazy enough. But of course, it also depends on the players. If one of the player like reads the card very slow, then it might take like 20 minutes. It happens and everyone is different. Or for example, if the players are very much into role play, well, that way is more engaging, is more fun. So yeah, that's another aspect regarding the game. Very much inspired from artists from almost all art fields, from installation to painting to sculpture to throughout the whole history of art. Because as I said, I studied visual arts, and I love art, and that this way I can just put all the things that I like or that I find interesting into this project. So you might find a lot of references regarding pretty much everything. Okay, and another main idea for the game is regarding the rules. I wanted to make and to build this game easy to understand, but also it can be easier to understand for people that just want to play it for fun, or like or they are not very much into card games or like into gaming in general. But it can also be very much engaging for other players who want to be more invested into it or to be more competitive when it comes to the game. It has fun mechanics, fun combos, also a good amount of creatures and tribes. Because this game is very much inspired from fantasy and magic, you can also find sorceries for you to use to hinder your opponent or to help yourself. But these are specifics. And another idea of the game is basically an homage for other card games that are already happening and existing, and for the 80s, like the 80s comics and art style, because I just find it very endearing somehow, and it gives me that comfy feeling. So I feel like this game, I put a lot of effort into trying to achieve that with my art style, and I feel like I got that. And sometimes I'm looking at the cards, for example, like here, and it's very much giving 80s comic book, let's say it like that. Yes, these are the main ideas of the game. There are many more, of course. I want to try and build a community around the game for us to be able to socialize, to discuss this, and to have fun, of course. And I hope that many people are going to get more interested in the game and to make these videos. And I'm not going to take too long to make them, because I tend to get a bit overwhelmed with what I have to also do from day to day. And yes, because I tend to get lazy, but not in the sense of like not wanting to do anything, but I love to draw, and I draw a lot, like a lot all the time. And sometimes I would rather stay and draw than just do the video, even though it doesn't take too much. It usually takes a lot of time to edit the video, but it depends on what kind of video I'm doing. Because if it's a video like this one where I'm just talking, it shouldn't be too much or too long to edit. It shouldn't take. So it should be fine, but still, like, I would rather draw and do things for the game than film. I'm from time to time, not constantly, but from time to time, I'm just looking at the cards, because I also have some of them here to just get. I feel like they are talking to me and to give me some more ideas what to say about them. Let me show you. Here I have a little holder shelf. This piece of plasticky thing, it's meant to be for nail polish, but I'm using it to store my cards and to have like a display for the cards, basically. because this way I can also look at them and analyze them from time to time, or when I'm doing something at the desk. I always have them here near me, and this way I can just, or maybe I get new info from them. That's another aspect. So far I have two different kind of cards when it comes to like the template, which is like the standard one, and the full art, which is something like this. With this one, you are able to see the card, like the art in the card better, which is bigger, because it's bigger. But I still have to find a thing with the font. But with this one, it's more easy to read, more easy to, it's not as tiring to the eye, let's say, as the other one. It depends on the player, of course. The full art ones, like these, not all of the cards have this kind of version, because it's not the standard. That's just like a special card that you can find in the packs, of course. So far I have starter packs, which I built myself, and they are very beginner friendly. But I also have the booster version for each color. The game has 6 colors, and every color has specific characteristics to it. You can find this kind of info on the Discord channel, which I'm going to leave the link in the description for you to go there and look. Maybe you want to join, it's up to you. I feel like this is it with this video. Maybe I wanted to say more things, maybe not. Maybe I'm also forgetting, for sure, because I feel like I'm so overwhelmed, and I just started to do this video without writing any idea down. And I was just, I remembered, because I stopped the video to a certain point, and I did another one because I could not remember what I wanted to say. And maybe next time I'm going to just like make some points on the paper to not forget what I actually want to say. That would be very helpful. But sometimes I just like to do things like this. So yes, it happens. So to make a little recap of this video, I wanted to talk about the main ideas of the game, how the game is called, who am I, and the game is about fantasy, of course, and building your own little army of fantasy creatures and just trying to duel with your opponents in the arena, of course. This would be the main idea. You can also play it multiplayer, maximum 4 players, or of course, and it's a fun game. Like and I'm not saying it just because I did it, but sometimes I'm just trying to think from outside when I'm playing the game, and I'm like, wow, like I actually did this thing. I did this whole thing. Like, what the fuck? Ooh, I shouldn't say this, but yes, this is another aspect to the game. Yeah, it's very short. It doesn't take too long for you to understand or for you to play more. Like, no, it doesn't take too much. Yeah, this was a little recap, which was very much chaotic. But chaos runs through my mind. Like, that defines my mind. Everything is like flying from one corner to the other corner to one. Oof. Yes, all the ideas are like, ooh. It makes sense. Why am I like this? Look at the hair. So yes, thank you for watching, and thank you for, if you actually got to this point, wow, period. I'm not that annoying, or maybe you found me annoying, and you can tell me that in the comments. Or you can also tell me in the comments what would you like to see in the game, or if you would like to try the game out. Especially if you are in Cluj. I'm from time to time, or I want to make it as often as I can, to make these little gatherings, meetups, where we can play, where people can try the game out. I'm bringing the packs. You don't have, it's not like you don't really have to pay. You don't have to pay anything. You just come and play the game, because I'm bringing everything that it's needed for you to play the game, basically. And I'm also there to explain on how to play it, and I stay there with the people that are coming and explaining to them what is happening, why it's happening, how it's happening, and so on and so forth. So yes, thank you for watching this video, and then subscribe if you actually want to, I don't know, see the series for Mighty Duels. Also other videos that I'm making here, because just as I said at the beginning, I'm a drag queen and I have drag shows. And I'm doing drag shows, like I'm actually organizing with my sister an assassin. So usually I'm also documenting these kind of situations, which can be very funny. Sometimes they are, wow, those videos are chaotic. So if you want to be overstimulated, watch that. If you want to be understimulated, I don't know, watch this. This should be a bit more chill like that. So yes, thank you for watching and bye bye.